안녕하세요. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Now, Bongcast is back, y'all. I'm sure some of you guys watching right now are like, yo, wait, is this actually Bongcast? It's actually back. Yes,
Could it be
I
true?
know. I may have had almost exactly a year hiatus, to be honest, from Bongcast. I know. In case you're new here, Bongcast is my podcast series that I have on the channel, and I really love doing it, and I'm so happy that I am back with this series. But this time, it's all about Queendom Season 2. Yes. Now, today, I am joined by the wonderful Casey. Casey, do you wanna introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Casey, as he said. I don't think I was even around when you did the last podcast. I don't even think I was.
It was a year ago, almost
Was it a
exactly
year
a
ago?
year
Yeah,
ago.
I haven't even been doing it a year, so it's kind of crazy.
Dang.
But I'm happy to be here.
Go and check out his YouTube channel. The link will be down in the description as well, always. All links are going to be in. I don't know if more people are going to join us because this podcast is open. I mean, to other reactors in our realm. So maybe more are going to join. And whoever joins, the links will be down in the description, y'all. But yes, we've got a fairly small podcast today to begin with. It is episode 1 after all. But you know, there's some interesting questions that I've seen going around on the internet that I thought were pretty interesting, and we are going to discuss our thoughts. Again, all the discussion that is going to happen here are our personal thoughts. You may agree, may disagree. I won't allow any hate or banter down in the comments. All right, guys, even in chat. I'm looking at you, chat. We can have, civil discussions. That's fine, but no straight up hate. All right, guys. No toxicity. So, shall we begin? I feel
Let's
like we should definitely just start on our general thoughts of episode 1. What we thought, what we liked, what we didn't like.
Also, quick apologies. When Joe reached out to me about this, he said 12 a.m. on Monday, and I kind of just blanked and I read Monday because it's technically still Sunday for me. So I didn't have as much time to kind of gather my thoughts and write some stuff down as I had hoped, but should be fun still.
That basically, it's literally me. Like when I just go on the fly, I guess. But
time zones.
yeah, and I do have to apologize as well. It is my fault. I will probably change the schedule if you're watching on YouTube, because even myself, it was a little bit confusing because I was like, I should do it on Sunday night. Well, my Sunday night, because I'm still awake, but technically it's on a Monday morning, so
Yeah, it's technically Monday for you, so
it's technically Monday 12 a.m. So
yep.
Yes, I tried to pick a perfect time so that everybody in our community could join in. It's really hard. Time zones can be a little bit of a pain in the butt at times, but we'll see. I might switch it.
We actually had another reactor that wanted to be here with us too, but because of time zones, it was difficult. They weren't able to show up. But hopefully we can.
I really want him to join, so I might even adjust for him, just so that he can join. Because I mean, some of you may know Yumo, an amazing guy, an amazing reactor, and
really nice guy.
me and him haven't done any collabs yet, so. I kind of want him to be in on it.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Maybe even like some of the episodes can be at different times to kind of
different times. One episode on one
correlate
time.
with other reactors and time zones. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes, but okay. With that done, shall we begin? So what did you think of episode 1? General thoughts.
I was one of the rare few people that didn't watch episode 0.
Okay.
Which was really difficult because obviously it was everywhere. People were talking about it, but I wanted to watch episode 0 and episode 1 on stream at the same time, react to both at the same time, which obviously ended up being just one episode anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out. Overall thoughts, I really, really enjoyed it. I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. I think that some of the best things that we're going to see are interactions between the groups. Our bias from this group interacting with our bias from this group, the
Yes.
potential there. And I think that, along with just seeing cool performances and the fact that every single group is going to win from this.
Exactly.
In the sense that they're going to get the exposure, they're going to be able to, you know, put themselves out there and showcase their ability and their performances. So I think overall it's just going to be such an incredible experience for the viewers, for us, but also the group. So I'm really looking forward to it. So
exactly, no, I fully agree, and I think most people here watching right now can agree. We're only watching Queendom because of the interactions, the performances.
exactly.
I mean, personally, I don't care about the whole elimination and like.
Yeah. Unless it would be someone like having to leave the show. I think.
No,
in that
definitely.
case, it would be,
that is something I want to talk. Like we're gonna be touching upon, and that is the whole elimination and like votings and whatnot, and how that could affect certain things.
Right.
But that's gonna be in an upcoming topic. No, but definitely like so far, and we're gonna be doing a lot of comparing to season 1, guys. All right. Just because it's something we've already seen. Well, I say that, but Casey hasn't.
I've seen the performances and I've seen bits and pieces of the show, but not from start to finish.
So we'll be able to like discuss, and obviously because it is still the Queendom series, we're gonna just like go back and forth and see the differences. But overall, I personally liked the first episode more than the first episode of season 1. I felt like it was more, you know, entertaining and a happier of an episode, because we all know what Mnet is like.
And that's evil edits.
Likes his dramas.
Yeah.
So
it did seem more in the direction of the wholesome edits.
Yeah, the wholesome edits. It was very, very wholesome.
Refreshing.
And that is again something else I feel like we can talk about. Further in this like in the topic in this podcast. Now we're talking about Queendom 2 and Queendom 1. I had a few points that I wanted to like touch upon, and like that really just kind of differentiates season 1 and season 2. Which I don't know if you'll be able to put a bit of an opinion on it, but there was like the voting system, for example, like voting system compared to season 1. We have to remember season 1 was back in 2019. I remember watching this. It was actually live. Yeah, no, the voting system was pretty. I felt was pretty decent. The fact that they have their self-evaluation and whatnot was very interesting. Like I feel like we haven't seen that very often in survival shows, and it was pretty interesting. Also, a good opportunity for Mnet to do the evil edits again.
Of course.
Because, you know, oh, wait, this group hates this person. They thought that person was this. And yeah, the thing that gets me, though, is the global views. Like, the global YouTube views. How that will affect and could change the whole game compared to season 1.
Because I mean, we do have some groups that's where they shine, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Those international votes.
Like you'll have, you know, for example, Kepler, and then you've got Brave Girls that are more popular in Korea than they are outside. So that could definitely play a big role, and I feel like a lot of people did see that coming, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like 30%, right, for global audience votes.
It is, which is still.
I think it could still be pretty impactful.
Pretty, right? Yes, pretty impactful. But at the same time, I kind of want to touch upon Street Woman Fighter. I can't remember if Kingdom did this or not. because Kingdom was, even though it was pretty recent, I feel like the whole YouTube views things first started with Street Woman Fighter. I may be wrong with that. Correct me in the comments or chat. You can let me know. But it didn't have that much big of an impact. I can't remember what the actual percentage was, because in the end it takes the overall and puts it in a smaller number. Like I can't remember exactly how they do it, but the number doesn't end up being as big of a gap as the YouTube views would show.
Right.
So that could definitely I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, in my opinion.
What's your opinion on if they had strictly professional judges? I know it's kind of counterintuitive to what the show is and represents, but it being more based off of actual presentation and ability and performances, as opposed to just which fandom streams more, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to be, again, fun and good for everyone, but it really is going to kind of boil down to it being a popularity contest, right?
All survival shows turn into that.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, everything is basically a popularity vote.
And that kind of goes back to my question: what if it was in the hands of expert judges?
The thing is, right, is with that, Mnet kind of foresaw, because the thing with that, right? We all know a lot of people hate Mnet, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
If they bring in expert judges, then immediately whoever didn't make it, the fandom's gonna go off on Mnet.
Yes.
Start canceling, blah blah blah. Start like bombarding with all sorts of accusations and stuff, like manipulation and whatnot. And I feel like Mnet, obviously, they don't want that. I feel like they've got enough of the manipulation type thing, which is why I think like having a mix of the global, and then you've got the like live audience, which by the way we were a part of with the first round, which we are going to talk about, because why not? Because that's another interesting point. Being a live audience and not watching like the show can really impact certain things. So you've got the live audience, but also in season 1 they also had the special guest vote, which every round had different people. So like in the first round it was trainees, so people with experience, they could vote on who had the most like performance, like the best performance and whatnot. And I do feel like Mnet could do that. Now I didn't see that in this season. Maybe it's gonna come in a later episode,
later rounds,
but so I do feel like Mnet could have added that and make it a little bit more of a like less. It's still gonna be a popularity vote in the end,
but potentially less than that, or at least in the eyes of the viewer.
Yeah, and also pull a little bit of like the what do you call it, like the attention away from just people saying, oh, but this was just purely a fandom like popularity vote. It could have also like the effects of having these not popularity votes, but the special guests. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do think Mnet want, at least for this, trying to move away from all the accusations and
Sure.
whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, my dad just popped in to say hi. So yeah, that is what I think. I don't know what
Yeah, no, that's completely fair take. I agree with you. I think that could lead to an absolute PR nightmare, as you said. I actually hadn't thought too much about that before, so yeah, that's a fair point. Absolutely.
But ultimately it'll still, like, fan wars are still gonna happen, like.
Of course, it's already kind of been obviously going on. It's been a bit much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's sad that it has to come down to that.
Honestly.
This should be a time of, like we said, like unity and interactions and celebrating the all of that, as opposed to
everyone's a winner.
hate.
Like,
Exactly.
you may not win the comeback stage, but what does your group, that you were a fan of, gain from just the show in general is much higher than than the winner. Like,
everyone wins, absolutely.
I don't know if I want to say this because it might be a spoiler for those that hasn't seen season 1. I don't know if you know who the winner of season 1 is.
Yeah.
You do know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure. I mean, they already showed it in season 2, so if you're watching this, you probably already know. But the best example I can give is Oh My Girl.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh My Girl, after, like, I was a fan, like, I followed Oh My Girl before Queendom, and let's just say they weren't that popular outside of Korea.
Yeah.
After Queendom, my God, they blew up. And honestly, for me, like, that was the real win for me anyways. Like, seriously? I'm a fan of Mamamoo. I'm a fan of I was a fan of literally all the groups that were on season 1 before. And yeah, no, honestly, that is the biggest win, and I think that's what is more important. And I know that people are going to be mad at who the final winner is.
No matter
ultimately,
what happens.
Everybody's coming out as a winner.
Exactly.
If the company does good. Because we know some companies might not take that opportunity and
seize the opportunity. But even then, I think everyone's going to benefit from it. I think even having your name on the show is huge, absolutely huge. So
yeah, no, definitely. All right, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and that is the budget that Mnet gives to each team.
Which I'm not aware about. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it is true. I feel like I've heard this before, and I think it might be official. I tried to do some digging around, but because I believe Queendom, that's what they did. Each team had their own budget that Mnet gave.
Can we get Queendom budgets then, please? For Queendom 2, please?
Bro,
oh my goodness.
You've seen
those stages are ridiculous.
Yeah, oh yeah. But even if it is true or if it is not, so far with what I've seen, I do think the budget with Queendom, but I think it is a good thing that they do it. If it is true, like, I think they should, because if we take away from the first Queendom, you could definitely see that there were some companies that had more money than others, and that played a big role on how the performance was played. And so far, if we look at what the first episode performances were, and me and you, Casey, we've seen all the performances.
All the Loona, obviously, in round 1.
Obviously not Loona, but from what I gathered, all of the groups had a similar budget. and we know that there are companies or
Yeah.
groups from Kingdom like that have a smaller, less known company, and still had an amazing stage, like a high budget stage.
Yeah.
So for those that were worried or not, I think what? But yeah, no. I've seen like just this talk go a lot on on the internet, and I thought we should address it, you know, and see what we thought.
Yeah. I think having a fixed budget for each group, I 100% support that. I think that I don't think that any performance or group should have um, any sort of like benefit or advantage that is like outside of their control or disadvantage,
Mhm.
right? Even playing field, I think that's perfect. I fully support that. Absolutely.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of people that say, well, it's not just like a group based, like the group. Yes, it's the group, but behind that group, there's the company, and it's also like a fight in between companies and who can, like, because obviously, I mean, the groups are on Queendom, but ultimately there is that
Sure.
like company that is behind their back supporting and doing all of that. So there was a lot of people that were saying that it's not just a group competition, but I don't know, man.
I don't know if I fully see the argument there. I think also another thing to think about too is not even just dollar amount. Like look at episode 1, for example. Look at hyolyn going to the floral shop, and she had a vision in mind, and she is going out and bringing it to life, right? I think that's another thing to kind of think about as well. But I personally think that every group having the same budget,
Yeah, it
is
levels
how
the
it should
playing field, makes it more fair for everybody. Now again, it was hard to find like if it's true or not. I
Yeah,
do believe that it was officially like said that Kingdom, they all had a specific budget, but that
really.
was last year, and I honestly can't remember at the top of my
Sure.
head. But I'm assuming if that's the case, then they would probably do it with Queendom. It wouldn't make sense to not do it.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, like to while we're on to this
Like the budget topic?
budget topic, or anything else in like differences and whatnot?
I don't think so.
All right. So
can
we
continue.
should jump into the stages then.
Stages.
Or
Episode
yes, sorry.
like
Yeah.
episode 1, the two stages.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, let's do it.
VVZ and hyolyn. Because I saw a lot of mixed reactions on the internet.
Really? I haven't gotten into really any like videos or opinions of anyone outside of you guys and the people that I talk to in like Discord and stuff, so I'm not too sure on that, but I'd be curious to hear
what
about
is
it.
your stance on each?
If I had to rank them, I did like hyolyn's a little bit more. I think that hyolyn has showcased the most vocal ability, not ability, but she's definitely shown some amazing vocals where I don't think the other groups have really shown too much. So I really appreciated the fact that she showcased her own artistry and creativity, vocal power. Obviously, her stage presence is crazy, through the roof charisma.
Is crazy.
So I think overall, I liked her performance a bit more. The other performance, obviously I really really liked it. I don't have the past with gfriend that most people do. They're a group that I got into after D-word.
Yeah.
Um, so
Trash.
some of the emotional weight that was carried there, I didn't feel as much as others. Um, I will say if I could not change but have one thing added to that performance is um, a little bit more from them on the emotional side of things in the performance. Like think of Fate from Girls Planet.
Okay, yeah,
Think about
make people
the
feel the
hmm
emotion through a
yeah, because
performance.
obviously you have all these viewers and Buddy going through these emotions, but um, for people like me who don't necessarily have that emotional tie, the performances from the girls themselves felt just a little lacking, if that makes sense. It just maybe a little bit more emotion or use of stage, if that makes sense. I know that there was a lot of kind of hidden things with, I guess they had like the backup
The
dancers
date.
making up the gfriend total and a
Yeah.
few things that um, will get lost on some people. So I don't know. I think that overall, again, both performances were absolutely amazing, but I think Hyolyn's is easier for a first time viewer to enjoy, if that makes sense.
That is interesting
Yeah.
that you say that because um no that is definitely really cool because we've got like you who's a new buddy and an
Uh-huh.
old buddy
Yeah.
because but that's exactly what it is. Like I saw a lot of people I mean I personally felt like the emotion like it's hard like you see them perform
Hmm.
um a gfriend song or two songs even um and it I felt like with that performance like vvz really wanted to play with that just play with your heart basically for that performance instead of giving a big powerful performance. They decided to go the other route and just
Hmm.
play with everybody's heart, which I feel comes down to a point that people like I feel like they don't understand, and that is well, not that they don't understand, but
Yeah.
like the difference in between the Korean viewers and the international viewers. Like,
Hmm.
cause gfriend in Korea is something big.
Yeah.
It is something
For sure.
massive, and like we saw in the video, you saw like it in the video. I mean, in the episode, every single idol that we're watching, we're like, whoa, I'm getting so like getting emotional.
Yeah.
Like when I
No,
was young, like I listened to this or
they cut in
this
on
was
Yeso, and she was yeah.
yeah, like they were big and definitely that's just the idols, but just think of the whole of Korea, you know, like
Hmm.
gfriend were huge. And when you compare it to like most of the viewers now like that are watching Queendom now, which I would say international, I feel like they don't have that same connection,
Hmm.
right? And that could definitely play on that. I did see um I wouldn't say like I felt it myself, but like I I started getting into K-pop like with gfriend.
Yeah.
I like those two songs, even though I started like really late after like their debut, those two songs were the songs that got me into them, you know? And so I felt like I did get that sort of sentiment that everybody got.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, it's in terms like I personally also like with that said, like me being emotionally attached to gfriend, I liked hyolyn's more
Hmm.
just because of the the power, but and obviously the stage presence that she had. And I don't know, because of the fact that it is, you know, like the difference between the Korean and
Hmm.
international viewing, let's say, the international would be more attached to hyolyn's side, right?
Do you think based off of
bro, I'm
concept or
hold on,
like
keep going.
Well, just do you think the international viewers are more drawn to hyolyn because of the concept, or like what is it that you mean?
I'm struggling with my words right now. It is
no, I get it.
I apologize, but what I'm trying to say is like
is it based off of similar to what I'm saying, where if you are looking at it, you know, purely objectively, there wasn't maybe as much choreo with VVG as like hyolyn, because they did play more into the emotion. I think
yeah, kind of.
Or is it because of the style and the concept that hyolyn?
Obviously, I mean,
does?
hyolyn's everything about hyolyn, right? Like obviously, in terms of songs and everything, polar opposites. Even like the concept, gfriend kept VVZ. I keep wanting to call them gfriend. You can't tell I'm a real buddy, I guess. But yeah, they kept their original concept, and that's another thing like that I want to talk about, and it's VVZ trying to stick with the gfriend concepts. But like the difference in between the concepts was widely different, and like hyolyn was more towards, you know, the trend that it is now than gfriend, and I feel like a lot of people saw that more. Like, oh my goodness, I had this all planned in my head. The anxiety is actually jumping out right now as a
No, you're good. For me personally, even though I liked hyolyn's performance a bit more, if I think of my personal taste in the concepts that I enjoy, I would lean more towards their concept than I would hyolyn's. Do I think that that's the case for most international viewers? No, probably not. But I do think you're right. I do think that the international viewers would be more drawn to that type of stage. Kind of, you know, it's sexy, it's powerful, and not to mention, I mean, it's easier to focus on one person, as opposed to 3 or 12 or so yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Okay. So, yeah, I personally enjoyed hyolyn's the performance more. Like, bro, like she's literally, I mean, I've said it in like my reaction to the episode, like she's literally like the all-rounder. She's got everything under her back. She's a whole army by herself, okay?
Oh, it's terrifying. Hyolyn's absolutely terrifying in all the best ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Yoli said, I mean, her experience in shows like this and just across the board, her experience, you know.
She does have, she does have a lot more experience being the oldest in terms of like experience. But she was, you know, up against gfriend, which also have a lot
they have a lot of experience too. Absolutely.
Now, this brings me actually to another thing that kind of relates to what we're talking about. Should a viviz go with the gfriend concept or try and make their own?
I like it.
Because
I love the elegant concept. If they do continue to go with that, I hope that not that they're relying on it. I think that playing into Buddy's emotions and stuff, I think that was really, really good. I think that was perfect. I don't know if they should do that whole entire show. I support maintaining the elegance and the elegant style to have diversity in the performances, because, you know, Kep1er probably gonna be more on that trendy hype side, right? And I think having diversity in the performances is good, but keep the elegance, but maybe go less on the nostalgia and put a little bit more into the performances moving forward, right? Because I mean, even in the pre-performances, we didn't even have vocals from them yet.
Truth.
They just haven't given us a lot of vocals or choreo or anything yet, which obviously you're not going to put everything in the first episode or a pre-performance, but I do hope that they do maintain the gfriend style. I think that'd be so cool, but put it a little bit more into performance aspects.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Because that's actually another thing that I wanted to say, but again, my brain just blacked out for a moment when I was trying to explain things. I apologize. I'm not used to doing these podcasts, and like, I blank out a lot. I'm very.
I've never done one.
I've got a lot of anxiety. Okay.
We're vibing.
Just
vibing.
bear with me, okay? No, but that's another thing that I found, like with again, I was gonna say gfriend, viviz, is that in a way, like, as much as I love, like, gfriend, and I love their concept. I really love the concept. And even when they were still in like gfriend and they started to move away from that concept, like starting like with Apple and then like Mago and whatnot, I was like, I really like to me gfriend is that, right? It is that old, like, that concept, that sweet, schoolgirl kind of concept. But at the same time, it's like you look at it, like I watched the performance, it's only 3 of them, you know? It's not the whole group. It's different. The synchronization, like gfriend, who are known like for the like synchronization. I felt like with that performance, it's like, if you're gonna do, I don't know, obviously Shinbi really wanted to keep the original and make it their own, right? Like they didn't want to change it too much. They wanted to keep it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I maybe that's just a factor of me. Like, I really, really like the performance. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I feel like it's a double-edged sword for me. You know, like performing a gfriend song. Because I feel like you need the other members. It feels different when you're only 3 performing a 6 member song. Which, again, because it's weird, because then it's the same thing like with hyolyn, right?
Exactly.
She performed her group song.
Her group song, yeah.
But that's why I'm like, I don't know. Because that was an argument that I made in my head, like when I was trying to figure out like things.
It's a tough one.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it was lacking that gfriend if you will, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like it was very like if I was just looking at that performance, it was emotionally amazing for me. Okay. Because it's gfriend. I love the both songs that they picked, and I think they definitely picked the best songs to represent the gfriend concept,
identity.
The identity. And they did change the choreo, and I loved it, but there's still a part of me that's like,
Yeah, it's like they said in chat, like it was a little bit more in like zooming in on their faces individually, a little less choreo. When I was watching it on my stream and we watched the performances from YouTube and we saw the whole orchestra and everything behind them, that was more emotional and impactful to me rather than kind of just zooming in on the individual members as well. I thought that was really cool, seeing the full set. I actually preferred that to the way that they shot the performance, to be honest. But I think especially in today's K-pop world, we need that style more than ever, because it's more lacking. So I personally am on board with them sticking to that identity. It's not that they can't do other styles, because of course they can. I mean, look, they're incredibly talented, right, and experienced. But maybe it's for my own personal reasons, but we need that style more than ever right now.
I
It's
fully
just
agree.
girl crush. Everything's just girl
I
crush.
fully agree, because that's another thing. Like, people are like, they were saying, oh, this, the like, that like their performance, and I saw this a lot, and this is why I feel like the difference in between international and Korean fans can really be a big difference here, because the gfriend sound is no longer existent, because K-pop has evolved and has this new trend of girl crush, and that's what everybody wants, and that's, I feel like that's what the international public is.
It's
And
reaching
K-pop
out to
tries,
international and
they're trying to reach out for that international viewership, right? And that's what works. It's not the cute little girl, cute girl concept, right? Anymore. But I personally agree with you, and I want that concept to come. But you know, they did. That's not the part that I disliked about it. You know, it's really hard, because I really like both performances. I'm sure there's gonna be people in the comments right now being like, I disagree with what you're saying, Joe.
Of course, and that's okay.
And that's fine. Listen,
disagree, yeah, I mean, everyone is entitled to their own
have-
opinion, obviously.
yeah. But like, no, definitely. But another thing that I did like, though, like with the choreo and like gfriend, is that when they added at the end, like when they had like in line, and they had the people,
missing
like
members?
the backup dancers, the missing members. I was like, okay, yes, now I have that gfriend like feel back.
And in that aspect of it, for myself going into Queendom 2, one of the things that I'm gonna really evaluate and hold high for when I am looking at performances is storytelling. Storytelling is going to be really big on my list of what I'm looking out for, because for me personally, and I've talked with some of you guys about this, you guys have heard me say this, but I don't want to see a cool flashy dance move. I don't want to just see some high note. Like, we know that all of these groups have girls that can dance really well and that can sing really well. I want to see the artistry, I want to see the storytelling, and I want to see the culmination of everything together. And that kind of brings me to pre-performances, wjsn. They did all of that to me. They told the story. It was, you know, they had the outfit change and the floor choreo on the design, and
the camera work as well.
And the camera work, and that is an example of what I want out of Queendom. Even Loona, right? Like, it for people that don't know me, you know, I'm pretty biased when it comes to Loona, but the storytelling that they had was similar to VVG in the sense that it was more for fandom, because they had choreography from different songs in their choreo, and a viewer that doesn't know Loona is gonna kind of miss that. So then it's a balance of like, you do these things for your fandoms and for people that love you in your group, but how do you balance having these things that, you know, a fresh set of eyes, a fresh viewer are gonna appreciate too? So kind of random rant, but
that
yeah, I don't know.
That goes back to, you know, like, should VVZ keep focusing on that gfriend? Like,
exactly.
How much should they try and move away from it, you know, and create their own thing, because that's what they are now. You know, like, yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Well, I mean, even in the opening performance, that they didn't do that, right? Obviously,
no,
you know,
they did their own thing.
They're not. You take it with a grain of salt, because they are just, you know, intro performances, so they're not going to be at the level of, you know, the performances moving forward. But there's still something to be said about them, right? And they did a different thing. You know, they had all sorts of stuff. I mean, they were tutting and whacking, and, you know, totally different from gfriend. So obviously we know that they're capable. That's never the question.
Of course.
They're incredible, but I don't know. It's a hard thing. I think finding that balance is hard, because you want to have those things for your fandom too. Like, you want to include these things that are going to be for the fandoms. But again, you want to bring in the new viewers as well.
Exactly.
So it's hard to find that balance, I think, you know.
Truth.
But
True.
to your original point, yeah, I personally really hope that they stick with that gfriend sound.
Okay.
I do. Um, but is that gonna be their identity as VVG? I don't know. So again, it's like you said it perfectly. It's a double-edged sword, I think. It can be at least, you know. But
Yeah. No, definitely. And I guess like we could say the same like with hyolyn. Like, do you think that same storyline of her trying to go back to sistar or whatever, like with that?
I don't know, because I think that her performing "Touch My Body," it like obviously pays homage to Sistar and the Summer Queens and everything, but for a fresh set of eyes, it still is doing what it's intended to do. Does that make sense? Like, you can watch Hyolyn's performance and just enjoy. You don't have to know Sistar. You don't have to know the past.
Yeah, no.
Because she has that charisma. She hit the high notes. She showed
made it her
her
own.
her dancing ability, and yeah, she did make
With
it
her own style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
You hope they move away from different sound. The first round, obviously, I mean, I 100% agree. By the way, guys, I just want to say I do not dislike the gfriend. Like the like I love that performance, and I'm kind of glad that they did do that, because yes, it I wanted them to play with my heart. Okay.
yeah.
Like that's what I wanted, but there was also like certain bits where I was just like, you know, I don't know, because it's weird, because it did play with my heart, but I yeah, there was just.
And to Huey's point, I personally don't think that Queendom's set. I mean, we've had Queendom 1 and one episode of Queendom 2. I don't think we're set in stone on how the show is supposed to work. I think that it's all still up in the air. And
I mean, that is true, but we've
you know,
had 3 seasons already,
Kingdom, yeah,
and
but
it basically followed the exact same path.
yeah,
The next round will probably be a cover round.
cover round, yeah.
If we follow the trend of each season. So then that's something I'm gonna want to like talk about later, like when we're gonna end it off and see what we think they should do, like moving forwards and whatnot. But yeah, no, overall, if we're gonna finish like with the performances and stuff, oh, speaking of hyolyn, I just want to say, and I guess we can talk about us you know, watching as a live audience about this, because I felt like this was a big part for me, is like, for example, hyolyn with her like shoe issue,
Yeah,
right? You watch that performance, you would never know.
He's a professional.
You would never know, right? And sure, like, we watched the performance live, like we were at the live audience, we never clocked, right? But we didn't have the backstory, we didn't have anything after. We voted, right? We voted with what we saw, right? Then again, I mean, this round, our global votes don't, you know, count. Or do they? Wait. Global, yeah, it's for the next. No, it is for this one. Holy moly, I'm lost. It's not vote, it's the amount of views, technically. But yeah, anyways. But if I would have known about that situation while watching that performance, do you think it would have changed the vote? Like, how you view a performance? Because to me, like, it's all about the performance, of course, but it's not just that. It's like how you perform, and there's a bit of the backstory as well, and like, and knowing that she pulled it off without literally anybody knowing, to me that's kind of insane. And she's got my respect, you know. Yeah. And could definitely have a play on the votes.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we talked about earlier, her experience and just professionalism. I mean, it's hyolyn. You know,
Yeah.
she's a she's a force on the show for sure. I'm excited too, and um, man, I don't feel like how do I word this? I was gonna say I don't feel like enough people give her credit, but I mean, obviously, you know, it's hyolyn, of course, but um, even like on the pre-performances, it didn't seem like she was ranked too high among a lot of the people that I talked to's lists, and um, I don't know. We talked about groups having advantages and stuff compared to a solo artist. It's a really interesting dynamic when you can have someone as one competing against someone as 12 or three, right? You can't get it right, but it's really interesting to see. I don't know, see how it unfolds, but yeah.
For me, it was know the group. I didn't know as well that changed the performances. So you're saying that, like, if you didn't know the group, that could change your perspective on a performance, Kyra? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I feel like that could be a thing, moving forwards, like with who could win and whatnot. Like, knowing a group and knowing like the story behind them and what they've been through or whatever could change a perspective on a certain performance.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Um, Obviously, there's so many different opinions. For me, I'm going into this like first and foremost, obviously, we talk about everyone wins and just seeing the interactions and stuff. I would be, yeah, I would be lying if I didn't say that I had a group that I want to win. Like we all have that bias, I think, to an extent. I personally want to look at things as objective as possible. I'm struggling to do so, but I want to. So I kind of feel the opposite as Kyra a little bit, where I don't want, and throughout the last couple weeks, I've actually been able to convince myself and look at it objectively that I think wjsn did have the best pre-performance when I had loona previously ranked 1 because I love loona so much, if you can't see behind me.
Literally, so, like the 15 different albums, yeah.
Yeah, so for me personally, I like to take the objective approach and credit the performers in what they put into it, and not so much about who they are, but that's what's so cool about this is we all have our own ways that we get to look at it and enjoy it. And that's what's so fun. Not everyone's gonna view Queendom 2 the same way, and that's one of the beauties of it. So it's cool.
No, for sure. I agree. Also, like talking about the pre-performances as well, because that was part of episode 1. I personally liked like wjsn's performance the most, just because of, I mean, like you said it before, the storyline, the outfit change, like it was unique to them, right?
Yeah.
And it definitely showcased what they could do. Not that the other teams didn't showcase what they can do.
Yeah.
Like they definitely did, but yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like for me, it was wjsn, and out of all the groups there, Kepler is the only one that's in my alts list so far. But loona and wjsn are in the cusp alt.
Cusp alt list, yeah.
And I already know that Queendom is going to change that for me, I feel like, and that's what I'm here for, like just to see the different groups. And another thing that I love about Queendom, and that I hope we're gonna see further, is the group themselves taking charge, like creating a concept that they want and not the company, if you will.
That's exactly.
I want to see that artistry,
Exactly, and that's the artistry and storytelling again are things that I do value really, really highly. So I completely agree.
And that's when we come back to like that can change an opinion on people, on how they. It's like when you watch like a survival show, like with like certain members like GP999. You look at them and you're like, oh wow, this person can take charge. It's like I kind of like that, but then you can change and changes views on that. But anyways,
for sure.
Right. I feel like we talked a lot about like these, like the performances, and
Yeah,
I feel like
hot
we're
top.
going through them a little bit too quick, you know. Right. What else did we have? Um, oh yeah. What do you think like the groups moving forward are going to do? Like, do you think they're gonna stick to their concepts, try different things?
Oh man.
Like,
The thing about all the groups and hyolyn is that they are so talented, so they could do so much. What I think they're gonna do, I don't know. I have a big question mark with like Kepler, for example,
mm-hmm.
because they don't have that past group that they can dive into a big discography and
True,
you know
true.
pull stuff out.
Right.
That's been a big question mark for me is you know what Kepler's gonna do moving forward, which I'm really excited to see. Um,
Like, we don't know what their concept is yet. Like, we
we
only had
don't.
one debut and like 3 songs as a group. We've got the the GP999 songs as well. But in
Do you
terms of
think
like,
we will get some GP9? I mean, we would almost have to, right? Because I don't think that there's enough songs to really go to.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they won't need to use songs. Like maybe for the cover, like the cover, if there is, again, it's all speculations going from past seasons.
Yeah.
If there's a cover, I feel like that would be the only one where they would have to use, obviously, a song of a group. But it wouldn't be them that does it. It would be another group that would do a song from Kepler. Obviously, that
Right.
group won't have a big list to choose from.
Mhm.
But they could pick a GP999. But
That would be really interesting. I think that would be kind of cool, actually. I think that a good bit of us really enjoyed some of the GP9 songs. Like Utopia. Oh my goodness. Like think about, you know, Hyolyn Snake, or there's just so many like
oh, hi, yo,
possibilities.
stop putting stuff in my head like that. Stop.
Um, do you want to
Oh,
go like one group at a time
sure,
on
we
what?
can go. We can go one at
Uh-huh.
like who do we want to start with? Do you want to go from like oldest to youngest, or
Whatever you want.
youngest to oldest? It's like we
Whatever you
would go
think.
like Kepler, for example.
Hmm. Okay, and we're already on the topic of
I mean,
Kepler,
we're
so
already on Kepler, so might
yeah.
as well start there.
Yeah, that's I personally would hope that we get some GP9 songs. I think that would be really cool to see. Kepler, I think someone in chat said that Kepler's shown as like the high energy rookie so far.
No, I
Um,
definitely agree with that.
uh and the performance that we saw, the pre-performance, is kind of what I expected personally from Kepler. Right? They have really strong dancers, really strong dancers. I think it'd be cool to see like something like a Utopia, something on the softer side from Kepler, or even in their covers or something. I think that'd be really cool. You know, mix it up from that kind of aggressive concept that we kind of expect from Kepler. I think that'd
See a
be
cuter
really cool to
side.
see. Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Softer side.
Imagine they just do shoot.
Yeah, shoot would be so cool actually. Like I would love to see, um,
Definitely.
you know, some variety from all the groups, but you know, with Kepler, I think that'd be really cool. I don't know if
I
you feel the same way in what your expectations of Kepler, but I kind of just expect, you know, kind of girl crushy, you know, powerful performance. You know, they're
yeah.
a performance group. They're strong dancers, and I personally think it'd be fun to kind of see a little bit of variety in that. I think it'd be cool.
I 100% agree with you. Like when they did that performance, like in a way, I was not shocked at all. Like I knew that they were going to do something very
Yeah.
powerful.
Mhm.
I even called it. Like I said, like before, I was like, watch like Kepler do "See the Light," like
Mhm.
to like.
And it's not to discredit them. They just don't
No,
have. Yeah, they have an album. You know, they have a
absolutely
mini.
not. Yeah,
It's not.
exactly.
We're not saying anything negative about
I
Kepler
freaking love
whatsoever.
Kepler, okay? Like I said, they're my alts, all right? So I'm not like discrediting them or anything, but you know, it was pretty predictable.
Mhm.
And I feel like that like not only do I want to see them like try different concepts, try different things, just because it'll definitely show the world that, you know, they're diverse and they can pull off anything. But I think it's gonna, you know, help with that like surprise factor. You know, like that surprise factor. You're like, yo, wait, hold up.
Exactly. Which is big for shows like this.
Exactly, like that's what you want. You want that surprise factor on a show like this. And so, you know, if I want them to succeed, I feel like they definitely would have to change it up a bit. And also, I personally want to.
You and I, and probably the people in chat, we know that these individuals, these girls, can go to those other concepts because we had the privilege of watching them on GP9. But some newer viewers that didn't get the opportunity to see what we saw, it would be good for them to see just how diverse and talented they are.
Yeah.
So I think it would be smart for them to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Shall we move on to VVC?
Yeah.
Technically, we should have went with them first. Technically,
yeah.
Technically.
We kind of did touch a lot on.
We did. Basically, we talked about what we wanted them to do.
Yeah. So we kind of covered them, but I don't know if you want to skip or touch on it anymore, but.
No, I definitely think I want them to show what they like can do, because we're saying the same thing. Like, I know you said that you want to see more of the gfriend thing, and I personally want to.
That's like me saying, like, for my personal, like, what I want.
No,
but
of course.
Do I think it's the best for them on the show? Probably not. I think you can never go wrong with diversity.
No, exactly. I feel like this basically goes for all the groups. Like, I want all of them to try different things. It's your opportunity. It's like, that's your opportunity right now. Queendom is the place to try out stuff.
Yeah.
See what you like. See what catches people's eyes.
Show things that you usually maybe don't have the opportunity to show, or absolutely.
So yeah, I definitely think I want to see VVZ. I want to see gfriend. If that sounds a little bit like harsh to say, you know, but I want to see VVZ, right? Yeah. Because I mean, when you've got
what's their identity?
Like, exactly. Like, they had an identity as gfriend, cute girl concept, but as individuals, what do they want?
Yeah.
You know? So I want to see that. But yeah, we basically touched upon.
We went into it pretty. Yeah.
So up next, would be Loona. Would be Loona. What do you expect, Loona?
This is gonna be a really cliche answer, but Butterfly. I mean, that's the one thing that I have to see. I don't. Butterfly is so iconic in the choreography, and it's a perfect representation of Loona's strengths, their synchronization and their fluidity, and I don't think it's an unpopular opinion to say that Butterfly is at the top of my list. I mean, it's what it is.
Truth. No, I 100% agree. The thing is that I have this feeling that that's the song that's going to be picked in the cover round.
I'll be so happy and so sad at the same time.
No, because I definitely want to see. I want to see Loona perform it again.
A Queendom stage Butterfly. I just can't even wrap my head around.
Bro, just imagine this. Like, the stage is gonna be insane. Just watch it, bro. There's gonna be somebody coming down from like the ceiling, like in butterfly wings or something. I don't know.
Go on, butterfly wings.
Oh yes. But yeah. In terms of concept though, like, we know that Loona already can do all the concepts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're famous for their boy group covers, and yeah, I think all groups are capable of all concepts. I think they're all talented enough to just do everything.
That's what Kpop
right?
is, you know.
Yeah, and that's why they're on Queendom. I mean, there's a reason these groups are on Queendom, right?
Christine, you definitely have to. Just saying. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn a lot through this, by the way, through Queendom. Yes.
Yeah, that's. I haven't put a ton of thought into like songs that I've wanted to see from Loona, but I would like Loona to showcase something that would really catch the domestic viewers' attention, because Butterfly didn't do too well. Butterfly wasn't very successful in Korea.
Loona, I feel like they are more international than
very much so
domestic, indeed.
And so if there's a hope that I have, and that is to, give us a really strong performance that would catch the domestic eye. That would definitely be another thing that I want to see, is take advantage of the fact that you do have so many Korean viewers, and take advantage of it, utilize it, for sure.
Kyra is correct. It could technically be their R1, like round 1 performance, because Loona didn't. That's another thing, seeing as we're onto Loona, but they haven't performed on round 1.
We've seen everyone but Loona, so it's a little harder for us to.
Didn't they do a performance though? They filmed the performance after, didn't they?
Yeah, but like you and me in our group,
we didn't see it. The vote has ended. How is that? Like, what do we think is gonna happen to that? Like, because they're not gonna gain any points.
For the worst. Yeah.
Is it an automatic like 6th place, or do you think Queendom is gonna pull something out of the box?
I think it might be, which has had me thinking of, because people have said, there's no way that a group can get, 6th twice in a row and stuff, which would be, I think, really hard. I think these groups are also amazing, but I think that this could, I don't know 100% how the voting works, but for like the Loona situation, but I think I've personally assumed it will be 6th. So I don't know.
It might just end up being, but why would they film like the performance though? Like I don't know. Maybe here's the thing, they might like also just show it to the like the idols. Oh no, wait, because it's already
yeah. I know why Loona would do it. I don't know why Mnet would do it, if that makes sense.
Oh,
like Loona has
would do it
for showcasing their ability, right?
Yeah,
Mnet, I don't know. But for myself, I'm kind of just expecting the worst, unfortunately.
But I don't think it's gonna really affect them moving after, like all the different rounds after. Like, they're gonna have to really push hard though. But we know Loona can do it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wish they upload. We haven't seen the performance. We just know that they did it.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know what Mnet is planning on doing, or BBC. Yeah. We don't know, but all right. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about for Loona, but I lost that train of thought. So we might have to come back if I remember about it.
I mean, while we're on the subject of Loona,
yes,
and I'm always gonna push my agenda.
Do it.
Quick comment on the performance, the pre-performance. Something that I just absolutely loved was, and you could see this in their facial expressions, in their outfits, in their performance, and everything, was the perfect balance of elegance and aggression, if that makes sense.
That's
because
Loona.
it was perfectly balanced. Even the outfits were loose, baggier clothing, but still kind of slightly revealing and kind of sexy at the same time, and the movement was really, really elegant, but also aggressive. Like,
I'm sorry, but that kick, Heejin, that was not necessary. Just saying. Heejin bias here, but no, just saying. But
you can go back. Sorry.
No, but I agree. No, yeah, Loona definitely had one of my favorite performances, like top 3. I think my favorites were like in the intro performances was number 1. wjsn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then I think for me it was Kepler.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I knew what they were going to do, I definitely like just the choreography. There was something pleasing about the choreography. Like,
Yeah.
the whole body was utilized in synchronization, and when you have such a large group as well, I feel like synchronization is definitely your strong suit.
It's a big tool.
It's a big tool.
You
There
can
you go.
use it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you use it to your advantage because you can create like amazing performance. But I also realized that every member had its own like power, and the group followed that. You know how there's like always a member in the center, but like everybody followed whoever was in the center. So whatever they were doing, they followed. I don't know. It was just a small detail that I noticed, and I really loved. And then after that was was Loona. No, I wouldn't say obviously, but I said obviously.
Yeah.
But it was definitely Loona, and just because, like you were saying, you could see it was a bit of both, like aggression, but with elegance. And I feel like that really showcases Loona. That to
it's
me,
big to their identity.
that's Loona. That's what they're good at. So, yes. Right. So after that would be wjsn. wjsn. Yeah, wjsn. What do you think? We now with wjsn, like moving forward after seeing the ending there. What do you think?
Yeah. First of all, they need to keep doing what they're doing, in my opinion.
So you don't want them to like move way too much.
They can change up styles. They could do boogie up. They could do
Unnatural.
It's not unnatural. It's not so much about the style, but I want them to maintain the storytelling because I think that's what's setting them apart from the other groups right now. Is that storytelling and the artistry. So I think that for them, that's what I would like to see them maintain, is that like the other groups, though, they have so many styles and directions that they can go. I think something like a boogie up would be really fun. I don't think that that's necessarily something that we'll get, but I personally think that would be fun. Concept like that.
Boogie.
I don't know how well it would do.
Yeah.
Something like an unnatural, I think, would be probably the easiest to digest for everyone. It would be really cool.
I feel like something like unnatural. I mean, that would be what would attract.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know with Unnatural, when Unnatural came out, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think we might even get some unit? Like, would we get like a Chocomi or a The Black?
Well, I think
like, could they do a stage that has both?
That would, if they were able to have like a Chocomi, like a Super Yuppers, and Easy in one performance, and it transitions smoothly. If they did that, that would be that would blow my mind.
There's a part of me that thinks that they will do that at one point. Like, I feel, because that I mean, to me, like, wjsn is obviously, I mean, the storyline and all, but it's also the different units, like the two sides that you have. You've got that sexy side, you've got that cute side, and then you've got wjsn, which is both, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna do something with that, but I don't know.
It's hard. There's a certain part of the Sola clip that I can't touch on because I don't want to spoil. That goes back to the fact that we have seen the performance, so I don't want to say anything. But when I saw that clip, man, obviously, first and foremost, seeing Sola distraught and upset was heartbreaking. But two, Mnet,
the cliffhangers, man.
It's just so hard to tell with Mnet's evil editing, or it's just hard to tell. So I'm trying not to pay too much. I'm not trying to overthink a lot of that stuff. I kind of want to just go into it and take it for what it is. But I don't know. It's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore a clip like that, right? I mean, she was
Definitely.
really upset.
I mean, it happened. We know it happened because it's
You know what
filmed.
happened. You can't
What's the
fake
context?
that.
We don't know.
It's the context that we don't know. But
it could be like a happy tear. I don't know.
Yeah, again, it's hard. I don't know. Is there any specific song that you would love to see from them?
I mean, again, this all depends on what the rounds are gonna be. But like, if they did have a round where they have to perform another one of their songs, I don't know. I would really want to see Unnatural.
Unnatural would be good.
But
Unnatural would be cool.
If we had, okay, I feel like we should have had, like, add B-sides to that.
Well, look at
I was just thinking of
Loona and Kepler.
titles.
They both did B-sides.
They did B-sides for the intro. Yeah, no, I'm not. I would love to see like a different version of
cool.
Unnatural.
Yeah, Unnatural would be really cool. Obviously, you've had a lot of people talk about both Butterfly songs too, right? Like Loona and wjsn like doing each other's Butterfly and stuff could be kind of fun and.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that actually be insane. Imagine.
Even just the storyline behind that would be kind of interesting, and obviously both groups can do it, and it could be cool.
So yeah,
but
definitely like just I agree. I think they should definitely keep try and keep that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely going to be their strong point there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on would be Brave Girls. Technically, Brave Girls, 2016.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not super familiar with Brave Girls. I know their story. I think I've at least seen and heard all the title tracks. So to give like a really good opinion on, lost my light, but so I don't know if you want to start that while I change my light real quick.
Yeah, sure. I personally said this with at the like during my reaction, which by the way, my reaction to all of the episodes of Queendom are going to be on my Patreon. I don't know about UKC, where they're gonna be, but I'll ask him later. But definitely go and check them out. I said that I really wanted to see Brave Girls move away from their whole rolling situation.
Right.
I think they're obviously going to move away. I mean, because there are rounds that obviously you're not going to be performing any one of your songs. You're going to be doing either a cover or making something else or whatever. But I just, as much as I love Rollin' and the whole situation that happened, because I love Brave Girls and what happened to them is 100% deserved. But it's, everything is centered around Rollin'. Everything, wherever they go, it's like Rollin'. And I'm like, but that's not just Brave Girls.
Yeah.
Like there's something else to Brave Girls that is not Rollin', and we don't see that, and I hope we see this moving forwards.
And they know that because, obviously they said in their intro to the show, we want to show that we're not just a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think Thank You's, it's already over like 40 million views. I think that song's amazing. So I mean, yeah, I think of course they have to use Rollin' at least once, obviously. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that now's their chance to show just that they're not just Rollin'.
Yeah.
Not they have that opportunity.
But sure. I still have this feeling that Mnet are going to utilize that and make their own storyline you know, based on that.
Yeah.
Like the whole, like, you know, close to disbandment and that kind of thing. And Mnet is gonna do something, and that's what I'm scared about, and I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Mnet does things that we don't like, for sure. And it worries me, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they need to step away from that identity a little bit, because it's not their identity. Well, you know, the people that really know Brave Girls know that. So, but the people that don't know Brave Girls as much, you know, now's a chance to really show that. So.
And right. Oh, hyolyn. We talked about hyolyn, right? A little bit.
I don't know if we went too much into what we want to see moving forward.
I had a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think hyolyn is going to keep that sexy concept throughout?
I think that that's a part of who hyolyn is now, but in no way does she need it. And I think that maybe people that don't know hyolyn super well might see that sexy aspect and think that, you know, that she does sit behind it or rely on it. But the people that do know her know that that's not even close to being true, right? I mean, the word ace gets thrown around a lot, and for good reason in K-pop, but hyolyn is a perfect example of that. We talk about her experience, professionalism, charisma. I mean, she's already shown incredible vocals and dance.
We know she's a good rapper.
So, yeah. So for me, it's like, if she enjoys that element and she, you know, she likes to have that as part of her identity and in her solo work, then yeah. I mean, I think at this point, it's she doesn't need it. So whatever makes hyolyn happy. To be honest, I think that yeah, it's up to her.
I do feel like, in a way, like you said, like that is her like identity. That is something she wants to do, because it's basically, you know, all her solo work is basically just that, right? And it definitely has a hard time picking up, like, domestically.
But I think she, you know, she's aware of that, and I think that that's something that she
wants to change.
Support.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She wants.
So I think
to change
she'll probably continue. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And that's what exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think she will, but me personally, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I want to see more of her. You know, like, we know that she's a great rapper, and she will probably, like, show that. You know, charisma, stage presence. We'll see it, but, like, vocals as well. She's probably gonna hit some super mega high note. But, like, dancing wise, you know, performance wise, I want to see an insane, like, maybe not. And when I say insane, I don't mean like, you know, like pop off, but I want to see something other than, you know, like the floor choreography with the, you know, the booty up in the you know, that kind of thing. Like, that's, you know, super sexy, the whole like booty shakes and then twerking and stuff. I want to see something else, but like you said, I think she wants to keep that, because she, knowing who she is, she definitely wants to change the music scene over there in a way. And I feel like the Queendom is an opportunity for her to just say, look, it works. Yeah,
it's a really conservative industry, and I'm not going to say my opinion on either side, but
that's an ex-boy.
But the thing about hyolyn is she's not like a Kepler or these groups who are coming in to, you know, create an identity. I think that she's had such a long career, and now that she is in her solo work, yeah, it'd be really cool to see some diversity in the dance, but I'm not sure if that's her plan, you know?
No, definitely that's what I'm saying. I don't
think
I
agree with you,
she's planning on doing it, but it's just something I personally want to see, and I hope she does.
Yeah, And if it comes down to like personal opinion and stuff, something that could be really cool to see from hyolyn would be something like a because personal opinion, I don't want to see her do like some teen crush like cutesy type concept. That I think if there was a different style or genre that I would want hyolyn to do, would be maybe a different type of sexy, or like a like an emotional, like interpretive dance type style.
Yes. Oh yeah, like
Show us the
contemporary,
emotion.
like
Uh-huh.
she could
Hmm.
totally
Oh yeah.
100% pull that off, and I am in agreement
Yeah, I think that could be
with
cool
that.
for
Yeah.
sure. Um, some thought that I've had, I don't think that this is how the show will play off or play
Hmm.
out, but this is more of just like kind of a fun theory crafting thing, is like I've thought a lot about Kyoan doing like a Luna solo, like an eclipse or something. Because it is a solo song. It's a choreography
Truth.
intended to be
Truth.
sung and danced by one person. I don't think it'll happen, but like
Who would she pick though?
Kyoan
That's the
eclipse.
thing, eh? You know.
For me, it would be obviously Kiss Later. That would
Yeah, I was gonna just
100%.
about to say, imagine she picks, if it happens,
But
it's Kiss later. But
Eclipse or Egoist or Singing in the Rain, I think would be
I
so
feel,
cool.
I don't know. I feel like News right up
New that
Hyolyn's
that could
alley though.
show, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I think that'd be
I feel
really
like that
fun.
is really up her alley. But
Yeah,
no, yeah, no.
yeah. I think what I
Go ahead.
a common trend for me is like I think what I want and what I think is best for the show and the groups kind of are a little different, so it's kind of hard. Um, but yeah, I think I don't think we'll see a ton of difference from Hyolyn, but I do think that it could be really really cool to see something a little different aside from that type of sexy. But
I I for some reason think she's gonna come out with like some really hard hip hop like song or something.
mm,
She's gonna pop off rapping or something. But yeah. Anyways,
it'd be cool.
everything's in the future. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's just what we want. Um, but yeah. Anyways,
yeah. But it is kind of fun to you just have these little thoughts of like, but what if this group did this? Like, it's
what
so
if?
fun to think
Yeah.
about, you
Oh.
know?
I didn't
It's so,
imagine like it happened to like yo.
oh my gosh. It would be like us at the Twice concert, like with Hello. And we just thought about it forever, and then it happened, and we just died.
It's like no, stop. Yeah, I will forever remember that clip where like, are we getting hello? Are we getting hello? No, stop. And then it
No.
starts playing. You're like, ah!
Everyone is just screaming. Yeah, but
But
yeah.
yeah, I think we
Right.
went. We did the rounds. You know. Do you have anything to add?
Um,
You had a few
one thing to
questions, right?
pick your brain about the rivals, picking the rivals. What are your thoughts on Brave Girls, not receiving any picks? Is that, I mean, is that a positive? Is that a negative? A negative? Like, how do you view that? Is
Well,
it respect? Is it disrespect? Or is it just coincidence? Or what? I mean, it's not coincidence, but
it's weird because like in a way I feel like it's a good thing,
Mhm.
but with how the show, how wholesome everything was, like picking this group, like obviously it's a rivalry, but the reasoning behind was kind of wholesome,
yeah,
made me think, at the same time it's like
it could go both ways.
it could honestly go both ways, right?
Mhm.
I would see it like in a good way, because
Okay,
that's what I want.
sure.
you know but at the same time there's a part of me that's like I'm scared, because Brave Girls, I mean, weren't that popular, before, until obviously Rolling. Again, we go back to the Rolling thing,
It's
right?
a hard narrative to
It's
avoid.
really hard to avoid, and I do feel like through all the artists that are there, Brave Girls would be the group that is the least popular, I guess, in terms of how long like their career was, right?
Mhm.
But Like at this
Mathematically, it also makes sense too.
mathematically, yeah, no, of course.
But
I mean, when you think about how it like almost did a full circle, right? And it just happened that one, like I think it was hyolyn, right? The last person to pick.
Was it? I can't
think it-
remember.
I think it was hyolyn, the last person to pick. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, when it came to the last person, I feel like it kind of made sense, you know. It's like it didn't have to do a full circle, and everybody picked somebody, and there was not one.
It is pretty wild that each group, for the most part, could get picked once, with the exception of Hyolyn getting picked twice, and then Brave Girl Zero. But yeah, I don't know. I can see both sides, right? I can see
I can too.
yeah, you know, a negative or a positive. I wasn't fully able to pick up on how they felt about it, you know, based off any like
Oh yeah,
body language or anything. I'm not
same.
sure. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting, and I wonder how that affects their mental. You know, we have our speculations and our opinions, but I wonder, you know, ultimately, how is it making Brave Girls feel? Do they feel
Happy? Do they feel
happy? Do they feel bad? I mean, do they feel like, okay, we're feared type thing, or do they feel like the opposite? I don't know. I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing that, like you can say mathematically, you know, it makes sense that they didn't get picked, but specifically it was Brave Girls who didn't get picked.
that still doesn't stop the fact of, you know, that they do have thoughts, you know, and
yeah,
they could be thinking different things.
Did they say that they felt bad? Oh, they might have touched on it.
I think they did actually. I was gonna say, I think
Okay.
they touched upon it at one point, and they said like,
no, thank
that
you
they
for bringing
definitely
that
wanted
up.
to
Yeah.
grieve, yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't sure, so if X-Boy does says it, then I guess
Okay.
if we both thought of it, it must be like I
So
can't
then, yeah.
remember because
I mean, that also says,
Go ahead.
you know, that also says something about Brave Girls too. Is if it did upset them initially, what do you choose to do with that information or that feeling, right? They're choosing to use it as motivation as opposed to,
I
you know,
think
just
they
kind of
will,
feeling down about it.
because
Yeah,
when
so
you
that's
think
cool.
about it, they've been through a lot worse.
Yeah.
So
they've constantly had to prove themselves. They're used to it.
Constantly, and when you really look into like the story and how bad it got for them, like internally and like emotionally, I feel like this is not. It's not gonna be. They're not gonna take it too badly. They're gonna say, okay, so it is true. I don't know, like everybody knows us for this or that. We're gonna use this opportunity and prove to everybody. Like they said, they're gonna, you know, show what they can, and I think they're gonna use that as motivation rather than as a downgrading point.
Yeah. And we even saw the struggle in their rival pick, right? Because they picked VVG because they were struggling and they saw their success and they want to prove themselves.
Exactly,
so I think they're just used to that underdog narrative, and I think that it's good for the show and it's good for the Mnet edits, unfortunately or fortunately, however you view that. But for themselves and their motivation, I think it's good. But at what point does that like end? I mean, at what point does Brave Girls just get a you know, be Brave Girls and not have to carry that narrative any longer? I don't know.
That is definitely the most interesting thing that I think is gonna happen in the show, in my opinion, and it's just Brave Girls. I do have to say though, when I heard Brave Girls were gonna be on here, I was like, yes, you know, like,
yeah,
because this is gonna be their moment.
It's their story is incredible. I mean, it's
their story is not the end, you know, like it won't end with rolling. It's gonna keep going, and I know that Brave Girls themselves will take advantage of that, and the company as well, you know.
We're gonna keep touching back on it. Everyone's gonna win.
Yeah. Oh,
everyone's going to gain tremendously from Queendom. Aside from, some angry fandoms that are going at each other, but that's just so dumb. But
That's just
whatever.
gonna be Stan
We
Twitch
don't even need to
blogs.
talk about them.
Stan,
Yeah, that's
Stan
gonna happen
Twitch.
regardless of Queendom or no matter what. So it's unavoidable. But yeah,
Because like when you think about it, all like this is not like it's a survival show, but it's not. All of these groups have already debuted. They've already done stuff, and they will continue to do so. It's just one will have a comeback show, like paid by Mnet, and in a way, like I don't think that's a huge, massive like win. Like apart from the fact that they've got the word "win," like queens,
sure.
behind their names.
Again, touching back to season 1 and spoiler alert for those that haven't seen spoiler 1.
If you
just
haven't
a heads up.
seen and you don't want to know and you don't know,
Yeah.
like maybe mute us for a moment.
Yeah. In your opinion, I mean, did you think that really benefited Mamamoo that much? I mean, obviously Mamamoo was massive.
I'm gonna be completely honest. When I watched it, I felt like I already knew who was gonna win. Like,
Interesting. I have that feeling about this show, about this season.
okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who's gonna win here
Really? Okay.
for this one. Not as much as I did with Queendom 1. Like Queendom 1, you could tell, and this goes back to like budget and stuff. Because you look at certain stages and you're like, I like that stage more, but that one was more eye-catching, like to like people that don't know any of the groups yet or whatever. They'll see that one more than the other, right?
Right.
And I could kind of see it, but did I think that it benefited them? No, I think.
Right.
The whole show, like
Outside
I
of
said, I think the person that benefited from the show is the person that did, is the group that didn't make it.
I think most people can agree with that 100%. Twilight was my favorite Queendom 1 stage.
Interesting. For me, bro, I
the
have
reason why I got into Oh My Girl.
Oh,
was
really?
The
Twilight stage. That stage was amazing. I mean, to be fair, Queendom have literally my favorite stages of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna get so many more.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like.
At the end of the day, right? Who benefits this and that? At the end of the day, it's gonna be. It's everyone also, like, winning. And it's just so fun.
Yeah, I feel like it. At the end of the day, right? Like everybody's gonna benefit. Only if the company plays it right. Because if we take, like, I don't know, Lovelies, for example. I felt like they took too long to have a comeback, right? And when they did, it just didn't, it didn't work out. And, I mean, sadly, look what happened, And I hate Willem for that, because I'm a big Loveliness, but...
I think I agree and disagree with you. I think that no matter what the company does, let's say if gosh, I gotta stop bringing Loona into this.
No, go, because you have to give an example with something you know.
Them being way more popular internationally, I think that whatever the company does after will affect how much and how beneficial it is. But for someone like Loona, they already have so many more Korean eyes on them at this point. Even like scrolling through some of the comments on their intro performance, like struggling to find an English comment on a Loona video is crazy. That's not a thing. And it's happening.
I don't look at the comments, so that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So wow. I think you're 100% right. But I also think that no matter what, they're going to benefit from it. But I do think it's up to the company to take full advantage and really utilize just how much they do benefit from it. And I think we have groups that haven't had a comeback in some time. I think Kepler's do.
Kepler's do.
Lunas do.
Lunas do.
Who else? We just had Brave Girls.
Hyolyn would be
Lion
kinda...
Low and Bop Bop were kind of close in time, right? I think it's a little
Oh wait,
easier for a
was it?
solo artist.
I felt like Laying Low was... Oh no, wait, I think you're right.
I can't fully remember, but
Okay.
I think a solo artist is a little different. I think you can squeeze out a comeback a little sooner, right?
wjsn 100%. Like as a
100%.
group, it's been a while.
100%.
The Unnatural was literally a year ago.
Yeah. So I think I expect. I mean, I expect most groups to utilize it at least to that extent. Certain companies are obviously better than others at promoting and things, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see some comebacks from some groups where it's been a while for sure.
I feel like for this particular season, I think like the companies, because when you think about it, I feel like it's gonna be like a whole like Produce 101 situation again, right? Like Produce 101 was the first of its kind, and companies didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what was happening and how it ended, and how the groups managed, like the companies managed their own group after IOI. You know, it didn't really work out, but when you look at the other seasons, companies started to understand a little bit more how it worked, how the hypes happen and whatnot. And then you look at now, like, I mean, the latest examples is look
That
at
was-
Hive.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Sakura and Chaewon, bro.
The
Like,
power.
it's gonna be insane. The companies know what they're doing now, and I feel like it's gonna be the same thing with Queendom. Queendom was the first of its kind, and now that it happened once, 3 times even, if you consider Road to Kingdom and Kingdom, companies will know what to do now, and I really hope that they will take that opportunity and carry on that hype of each group, you know.
Yeah. Do you think, like, obviously there's a lot of finer details that goes into promotion and such, but like, do you think it's this big secret and this, like, or do you think it's, because my like ignorant mind in this is like, it's not that hard, you know, time like a comeback after the show, and like it doesn't seem like it's that difficult, but again, there's probably so many intricacies and things behind, you know, promotion that I can't even understand, so I don't want to, you know, talk out of place.
I guess it depends,
but I don't know.
Depends on company. Like, obviously I think budget would be the biggest issue, right? Like, let's say you gain massive popularity from, you know, Queendom, and you're a small company and you don't have that big of a budget. Let's say you want to try and keep up that hype, you would have to create a comeback that is massive, right? Like, big budget MV, big, like, you know, spend a lot of money on like a good production team.
See, I'm weird about that, because if you take budget and you distribute it to, like, when it comes to like people who are going to actually create and write the songs, I don't really know much about that, but for me, I don't like super overproduced music videos. An example is like, look what Stacey has been able to do with their music videos.
Yeah, I know.
I think you can definitely, I mean, it's obvious you can create such incredible comebacks without having to dump a ton of money into like crazy production. And again, I think Stacey is a really good example of that. And now, as a result of their success, we're seeing more production being put in. Like Run to You, obviously, there's a step up, and I think you would just have to just not promote, right? I don't know. It's again, I can't speak too much on it, and I don't want to talk out of place, but I don't know.
I definitely agree. Like, I mean, in our eyes, like me and you, like, you know, music video production and stuff, like really intense. Like, you know, you get like 5 different scenes completely built, you know, just for that MV, for example. A bit overkill, right? It does look nice, but I feel like that is something that does attract a lot of people.
Yeah, sure.
especially newer viewers, right? They'll look at this and be like, yo, hold on, the budget on this MV is pretty insane, you know? And I feel like, you know, as somebody who's watched, I mean, a lot of like reaction videos, like of people watching K-pop for the first time or something, the first thing they notice always is the high budget videos.
Yeah. Wow, the production in this video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow,
sure.
there's production.
I think that, and again, it's just my opinion, but I think there's a negative high production video and a good one. I don't think that it's just a dollar amount.
Like,
this is I'm an absolute huge ITZY fan.
Mm-hmm.
They're very high on my list. Please don't cancel me. But an example was Loco. That just felt like they were just shoving production in my face, and it was just a little too much for me after some time. And again, you know, it's my opinion. So I think you can dump a bunch of money and budget into a music video and it'd be good or bad. I mean, I don't think the dollar amount equates the quality, right?
No.
Sure. But we're kind of getting off topic. It's my fault, but
no, it's fine. I mean, it kind of relates, right, on like how companies would do. But like, no, I definitely agree because, in the end, right, when I listen to a song, and when a music video, in the end, is made for the album, right, like to showcase the title track.
It's part of the experience.
What do you do more? I mean, I'm probably obviously this is just what I do and probably what most people do, but you might do it differently. But when a new song comes out, I listen to I use Spotify more than I watch the video.
For sure.
Right? I watch that video once, twice, 3 times. But
and then periodically go back to it. But primarily, you listen
primarily, to it. It's just listening, right? It's a song. Like, sure, you can have it all like big and like and extravagant, but like ultimately it's what you listen to that would be more of you know, like would be the bigger, you know, where you would focus more on rather than a music video, right?
Yeah.
In terms of a company, so
for sure.
I don't know, but yeah, no.
Yeah, and to clarify, I'm not like what X-Boy is saying. I'm perfectly okay with high budget, you know, crazy music videos as an orbit. We like the lore and we like that stuff.
You can have lore without a massive budget.
Yeah. Like I always go back to this because this song was really impactful for me in my life. But Everglow's First, obviously there was some production in that. Mm-hmm. I liked the way that they did that. So again, I'm not against, you know, high budget music videos, but I think that you can have a good high budget video and or you can have a not so great use of a high budget in a music video. I don't think that the dollar amount equates quality, like I said, but
I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Another good example, and I think this might be one of the best examples, is Momoland's Boom Boom.
Okay.
That song popped off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the music, like music video production, bro, it's literally just an ad. Like it's
yeah.
It's like you're in a colored room and doing a bit of exercise.
Yeah.
With like a bar on the bottom moving, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Still popped off. Right?
Yeah. For sure.
So obviously, like high budget, but if we're just gonna like go back to like promoting, like the groups like promoting and whatnot, obviously the budget is mainly on pushing variety,
promotional marketing,
like marketing. So like going on like music shows and whatnot. Like again, like I'm gonna use Stacy again as an example because I feel like I've noticed it a lot with them.
They're a great example.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the company, like HYUP is doing it fantastic.
They're doing so well.
But like when they first started, like I've never heard of HYUP before. You know,
mm-hmm.
I didn't even know Black Eyed Peas had a company. Mm-hmm. I knew him. I knew of him. Never knew like of them. Sorry, but never thought that they had a company. And slowly, they've been like gaining popularity and been able to push more, and that will gain that popularity. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, obviously, you already have Queendom, which is already that big massive push, right? Like to promote. Like already right now, one episode in, a lot more people already know about these groups, right? So already they gain a lot of popularity. Problem is that you have to keep that, right? So as a smaller company, like if, for example, like, dude, they're gonna go on KCON.
Yeah.
They're gonna be on KCON. Now imagine you're a smaller group, right? Like, or a small company that can't even afford to go on a stage like KCON, right? But let's say like Queendom or Mnet or CJ, sorry, allows it, then you have already that big promotion, and then you're kind of downgrading after like the show.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that good, Like people will start to forget, and that's the difficulty here.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see, because I think that each company and their group and their present groups for Queendom kind of have a different road that they need to take, if that makes sense. For the newer groups, it's kind of establishing an identity and a fan base and stuff. But for some of the older groups, it could be a completely different thing, right? Like we talked about Brave Girls, they're trying to step away from an identity.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting because there's not, all the groups don't necessarily share the same agenda going after. It's the same end result, of course, success, but it's just kind of interesting. They all kind of have a different path that they need to take, it seems. But I wish them all the best. I mean, I hope that every group just gets as much success and everything they can from this. I really do. So I know everyone says they don't care who wins. I do, but I also want everyone to win from it.
Exactly. I want everybody.
I'm going to be transparent. I have my group that I want to win for sure. But
let me guess. I think it's gonna be really hard to guess who it is, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to guess.
Right? It's gonna be like really, really hard to guess. Right?
Really, really hard. But yeah, I hope people know that when I get passionate, because I get passionate. I'm a competitive person. I'm sure some people
There's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I don't want nothing but success from these other groups at all. Because I do. Because no matter what happens with Loona, again, I think that it's gonna benefit them, and they're gonna give it their all, just like all the groups are. And we get amazing interactions that we're gonna talk about forever. And even thinking about like that Yoda moment with
Shinbi.
Yeah, like that is already such an iconic meme, and it's so funny, and I love it. And that's one episode in. Like all the memories and things that we're gonna have from Queendom is gonna be the best part ultimately. So I don't know.
Let's make our own voting system. Yes, we're gonna be. No, I 100% agree there. All right. Did you have another question, or did you say you had
pretty much it? I think I put that question in with something that we were talking about earlier, but so I don't have anything here. But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we touched. Chat, do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Now's the time. We're here. Let's talk. We're having discussions here. Did you guys touch on the lack of...
That's a good point.
Road to Queendom. Oh, yeah.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah, to be fair, I did think we were gonna get a Road to Queendom. But at the same time, we already had one Queendom before. Right? And it'd be weird to have a Queendom, a Road to Queendom, and then another Queendom. I don't know.
I think also, I don't know if this is, I don't know. Boy groups and girl groups aren't equal
That is a big factor.
Not in ability or anything of the sort, obviously, but sadly in the consumer aspect of what they bring in and the eyes. So I don't know. I do hope that changes, and I think it already is, but I just don't know. I don't know if they can justify it. Man, would that be so cool to have some of these even smaller groups
I know. I
on Road to
already have a
Queendom and
bunch of.
have something like the boys type scenario happen, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool because there's a lot of really, really good groups out there that, obviously are a little underappreciated, as it is with most things in life, unfortunately. But I think that would be really cool to have. I don't know.
My only question is like, if they ever like, we got a second Queendom, is there
Yeah.
gonna be a second Kingdom? And if there is there going to be a Road to Kingdom again? Because maybe like Mnet tried the road to Kingdom, and it didn't really work out as they wanted, mainly because it's smaller groups, so the viewership could have been quite low. Although if I remember correctly, it was pretty high. But I feel like I that could have been a massive factor, and Mnet just didn't want to do that. They saw more viewership and more just viewership with just Kingdom, that they were like, well, it's not worth doing one for smaller groups, even though I personally would want to see it. But yeah, maybe like monetary wise and viewership combined was just a no-go, I guess. That's just,
it's always funny the difference between what we want and what's going to happen, or what's beneficial for the industry or the groups, or it's kind of funny. But yeah, I think it would have been really cool, but
it wouldn't work out. Plus it's girl groups, so like you said, even if like Road to Kingdom didn't do as well, then girl groups would do even less well.
This is doing,
I know, exactly, like,
better. But that's one of those things that's kind of sixes, because Queendom 2 is already doing better than Kingdom, but it's also kind of because of the success of Kingdom as well. So it's kind of hard to fully say, right? So I don't know.
But Queendom did do like great when it first started. Like, it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about
first of its kind.
First of its kind. So I don't know. I think, to answer the question, I don't think I think Mnet just dished the idea, didn't see the appeal, I guess.
Unfortunately. And yeah, seeing Purple Kiss and Ua in the crowd was really cool.
I did not expect that. Legitimately did not even notice. Like, you know how like it pans like really quick, like for 1 second, and then it moves away, and then everybody's just like, you missed your bias and your record. I was like, in Ua, I was like, yo, what? And then I had to look, and then I noticed.
There's certain faces that like I was able to like really, okay, like Swan from Purple Kiss. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't recognize any Purple. I don't know the members of Purple Kiss. But
yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Again, now's the time. Also, if anybody's watching the VOD on YouTube, I will be doing a part 2 of this. Obviously, for episode 2, we're gonna be discussing stuff. Let me know if you enjoyed this like the podcast. I know I'm not the best host. I have gone blank a few times. I do apologize.
We're figuring it out together.
It's just I guess the way we are. I do get nervous still, even though I've been a YouTuber and in front of a camera for 3 years. More than 3 years now. I still get anxious, but it's just
me too.
I'm and we've both opened up. X-Boy, stop being so nice. No, but seriously, I would appreciate a little bit of feedback down below. And if you've got any questions that you think that we missed out,
the next one.
let us know in the comments, and we might be able to answer them for the next one. Do you want to join me on the next one, Casey?
Yeah, I'll be there, and hopefully we're gonna try and get it to get some other reactors on here with us as well.
I really want Yumo, if you're watching and you made it this far, I really want to do something with you. I want you to join. I want to hear what you got to say, because you do have some decent, thoughts. I want you to jump.
Also, let us know your guys' opinions on the topics that we touched too, because it is interesting to hear different sides of the story. There's been opinions and things that I've heard from people that have opened my mind on things and kind of led to me being more open and stuff. So it's always fun to hear what you guys have to say. So look forward to that.
Keep it civil, guys. All right,
of course.
No toxicity. If there's any toxicity, I will 100% delete that comment. It won't be seen. All right, so don't even try to write anything. And I honestly don't care, even if you attack me. I don't care. So you won't hurt me. Don't even try. Okay.
There's no need for it. We can all have civil conversations about it.
Yeah. Who do you think will win? Oh yeah, we were going to say about that, huh?
I don't know if I want to. I don't know if that's a podcast thing or if it's a later thing or.
I mean, we can give our predictions now. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I don't have a prediction.
Well then.
I honestly don't know.
You gotta earn my prediction with your own.
Oh. SMH.
SMH.
It's honestly really hard to tell. Because I feel like, in a way, like right now it's gonna be hard. Like you could say it's the the group that has the most fans. Because again, like we were saying, it will turn out to be a popularity vote. Popularity win. But who knows? Throughout this show, a group could become mega successful and gain a lot more. So
sure,
it's hard to tell. We just have to wait until you see. It's the performance, man. Once somebody sees a performance, then that's when you're hooked and you wanna know a group and become a fan, right?
Exactly. That it just takes that one iconic performance.
Yeah. And plus, you get variety in this show as well, and I think that's a big factor on if I like a group or not.
Yeah, I've even heard people who aren't super familiar with Kepler talk about how Kepler has their attention because just how cute and excited and everything, and just that youth. And
can we talk about that ending though? The young and Yeso.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Obviously, they had all the best intentions in the world, and it was so cute. But like, kind of a roast almost. Like, are we talking about how they went up to Brave Girls and were like, "Our dads listen to you"? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like it was so cute and wholesome.
Yeah.
And like, they had the best intentions, obviously, but you could see Brave Girls' faces were like, "Oh, like."
It's like dads, you say.
But I thought it was cute. I don't know.
I honestly, now that you point that out, I can see, But I honestly, when I saw this, I was like, that is the most freaking adorable thing I have ever seen.
If you ever rewatch it, though, look at Brave Girls' faces.
I will now. I can already picture it because I've already seen that clip so many times.
Yeah. But they're they're cute, man. It's how cool is that for them too? I mean, for Kepler to be on the show. I mean, you saw Chaehyun's emotions in her face when she saw Taeyeon. I mean, a lot of these people are, the reasons why they're there, the motivation and their reason for becoming idols. So how surreal is that for Kepler? It's crazy. It's really cool.
For real. Yeah, no, exactly. And everybody's just like a fan of each other. That's
I love that.
That's what's really fun to see.
It's fun to see some wholesome edits like we talked about from Mnet, and how long they last, I don't know, but while we have them, can appreciate it.
That is a thing though that I miss about K-pop, and that is the interactions. I feel with how global it has become and how toxic for some reason it's become, you can't get any. I mean, then again, you did have COVID, so interactions have been a bit loose. But even before then, like, you could see the decline. Like, there were so many controversies and blah 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 that groups ended. Like, I'm assuming companies are just like, you can't can't interact with this person or anymore because controversies would get too big and could destroy a whole career.
I do love that. I like groups interacting. It's one of the coolest things. Like Isaac, things like that. It's so fun, man.
Isaac's just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's so fun to watch. Like, like there's actually people that are good, but you can tell like there's some sports that it's like they're bad, but look how cute and how fun they.
It's just a good time. And even around Christmas time when they did that relay dance with all the groups, like that was so fun. They had a couple members from different groups and interactions between groups are one of the coolest things. But I just hope that people can, like you said, just relax. Like,
it's the cancel culture, man. It's so friggin' annoying. We could talk about that for
that's a whole
nother podcast,
10-hour podcast.
If you guys want, I mean, I'm
but
actually kind of down because I've got some stuff.
Got some things to say.
Oh my god, you
it really is.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, no, it's definitely something I am looking forward to, and I hope they have it. Like Queendom 1, there was a whole like 2 episodes worth of just it had like the collaboration stage, like where you had one person of each group, and they made like one group, and the others had to do like duo stages and stuff, and they were all in one house. You didn't watch the episode, but
I caught some stuff on Yandi's stream, but
there was that, and bro, that was just one of the best things ever. And obviously you couldn't have that as much with like Kingdom and Road to Kingdom because it was all during COVID, but now it seems
but there were some cool collab stages at the very least. And
dude, exactly, X-Boy. Like honestly, that will be the best like friendship that I got from that show, and it was Hwasa and K, bro. Honestly, like polar opposites, I feel like, in terms of like personalities and stuff, but they just went along so well. It was really touching to see, and anyways, if you guys don't have any other questions regarding this, then I think it will conclude this podcast. Again, guys, let me know what you guys thought of this podcast and what we can improve or not, because again, like, I'm not good with podcasts. You saw me, like, I'm not that good of a host.
We do this because we love it. It's just, we like K-pop and that's it.
We want to share it with you guys, like, in our own ways, and if you guys enjoy it, let us know. All right, don't be shy. But yeah, also again, leave us some questions if you want. But I will definitely be back with this series. I don't think it's gonna be at the same time for those that are on chat. I think I'm gonna probably do it on a Saturday because it's a weekend. And probably either it would have to be earlier if we want Yumo, because I don't think I'll be able to stay up until 6 a.m. to
it'd probably be morning for us, the same way that we kind of like talk to Ray and stuff, same time zone.
True, we could do it that early. Like noon could do.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Keep a lookout on the community tab, y'all. I will update you guys on that, because again, like I said, this is a whole learning experience for me, so we're gonna be I'll be learning. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the best way to stay up to date too, aside from community posts, is join Joe's Discord too. It's a good place to stay up to date.
Thank you for promoting my Discord. I appreciate that. I'll promote yours too.
I'm in there myself, so trust me.
We both have Discords with amazing communities, guys. Like literally the best communities you'll ever find. And listen, I'm not just saying this because it is ours, Like it genuinely, like everybody is so like super, super kind and like just really fun to chill out with, So come and join both of our Discords. I will be updating a lot. I update a lot over there in terms of like my content and streams and stuff. Same will go for this podcast. And I might even have a dedicated, you know, channel for questions. If you guys have any questions, pop them over there.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Annyeong.
Bye.
Alright.